we're re-releasing our 2021 single suitcase Italian wines, of which we have 3 of them.
Sure do.
Aglianico, Barbera, and Sagrantino.
Almost an ABC.
Nearly an ABC. We thought it's a good opportunity to grab a glass, grab a bottle of each, and see how these wines are travelling. So let's go through these wines individually, have a bit of a look, see what we think. So, wine one.
First, we have the Aglianico. They only get better with age, and that's what's important here. These wines are stunning. When this Aglianico first went to bottle, it was bright purple florals. It was really pretty and delicate. Now it's got a bit of age on it. That delicacy is still there, but it's a bit richer. It's got that red currant and raspberry going on in it. The tannin isn't overpowering, so it's still very easy to drink. Summer, winter, whenever, all year round. It's a really pretty wine.
It's definitely starting to show that slightly more savoury character than it did, obviously, when it was bottled and it was a little bit more youthful.
Yeah,
it was
of course.
Primary front fruit. Now that's still there. It's certainly no wilting flower, but you can start to see that texture and the tannin coming out a little bit more.
With a bit of time. Now the Aglianico is a volcanic variety. It comes from the south of Italy, Basilicata, Campania, that sort of area. And what these volcanic varieties do is they go into the bottle and they look fresh and they look pretty straight away. And then with time, they are really well known for just getting better and better with age. And this is just really fitting into its shoes. It's coming a long way. It looks really stunning.
No, it's good. It's more balanced than what it was before.
Absolutely.
You know, that prettiness of fresh fruit previously was very attractive
but it
not so much voluptuous.
It wasn't whole, is the thing.
Perfect way of explaining it.
It was pretty, but it wasn't 100% there, just like Brett. Now, with a little bit of age, it really has started to get bigger and better and stronger, and we're really happy to see it's evolved. That colour is stunning. It clearly has a few more years left in it too, so we're keen to see how this keeps on going.
Yep, looks good. Yum.
Next wine.
All
right. Up next, guys, we have the Barbera. Now, Barbera is quite a common variety in Australia these days. You're seeing it left, right, and centre. It's gained massive traction, huge popularity, and there's a reason for that. It's
like
a
an alternate grape variety that's not alternate.
Yeah, exactly right. Like Tempranillo now as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's I guess a good way to relate it to anything would be, and don't kill me for this, the Shiraz of Italy. It is really big and juicy. It has that nice red berry flavour, red fruit, very similar to Hunter Valley Shiraz in that style. It's light, it's crunchy, it's got that nice mid-weight sort of palate, but it still has a hell of a lot to deliver, which is really exciting.
Mid-palate really sticks out. It's juicy and rich and
Oh, just keeps
like
going.
the Aglianico that we tried before. You can definitely see that this wine is starting to come into its groove. It's more balanced. It comes up with this slightly textural, spicy character, and then it's just this rich core of plum and black currant.
Absolutely. After a rack of golds and silvers last year in the awards circuit, I'm really keen to see how these go in the wine shows across Australia to see what that evolution looks like in the eyes of judges, consumers, everyone. So it'll be really cool to see where these are sitting now.
That wine's just yum.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to talk too much more about that because it's just drinking fantastically. It's juicy, it's approachable.
There's only so much you can describe without actually tasting it.
Put that with some food, or even just by itself, it is more approachable than what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a bit more muscly and fleshy in the tannin department in comparison to that mid palate, but it's definitely stitched itself together. That's looking good. Nice.
Again, that colour looks really nice as well. The flavours are fresh, the acid's bright. You can see it still has a good few years to it too. So Aglianico, Barbera, Sagrantino all have a lot of life left in them.
I'm impressed. I like it. 2021 single suitcase Sagrantino is the 3rd wine that we produced in this series.
It is the biggest and boldest of the lot. My pet name for it is the Coonawarra Cab Sav of Italy. It is a monster. It's big, it's juicy, it's muscly. There's no messing around with this one. If you're a fan of big reds, think our Bluegrass Cab, think our Reserves. If that's what you like to drink, this is the wine. It's just brilliant. It's big and chewy and monstrous.
It's certainly a more of an assault on the senses, to use a term. It's big and rich, and it's much more drying, and the tannins are persistent. It's a much bigger wine. If you want something to just drink by itself on the table without food, then the Aglianico and the Barbera is where the action is.
Yep.
But if you are having a heavy meal, or alternatively you've already had the meal and you're going into heavy cheeses and stuff like that, that's where this Sagrantino fits in the mould of these three wines. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, what we got to remember about Sagrantino, it is the highest tannin content, highest antioxidant of any grape variety. So yeah, really,
it's good for the
healthy
heart.
for you. Yeah, absolutely. It actually balances the.
There's no heart tick on there. We might need to organise
we'll just
that.
draw it on with liquid chalk. It's a big, powerful wine, and that high tannin, high antioxidant content in it is what allows it to age. It's just going to continue to develop and develop and develop. Those flavours will continue to jump out of the glass. It's really leaning into that. Some people have heard the word tobacco leaf or brown sugar. Really, that nice charred oak character as well.
Brown sugar without the sweetness, if you can imagine that.
Like molasses. That's probably the best way to put it. Really dark fruit characters, dark cherries, dark plums, dates, that sort of thing. It has a lot going for it, and it has a long way to continue improving as well. It will only get better from here, which is really exciting to make wines like that.
All three of these wines certainly have a good amount of life ahead of them. Now, how long that will be, we don't know yet. Is that long life 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Well, let's be honest, there'll be none left after 3 years. We'll probably have drunk it all.
That's it.
But these wines, they're setting in good stead for some time in your cellar. So if you were lucky enough to take delivery of some of these wines last year and you still have them, I would encourage you to open them try them again, because they will have changed since you last bought some.
Absolutely.
Alternatively, if you've already drank them or you're new to Sadler's Creek and you haven't tried these wines, then I'd implore you to come to the cellar door or jump on the website and take the opportunity to add some of these to either your dinner table or to your cellar. So during the month of March and April for 2024, we're re-releasing our 2021 single suitcase wines, and we're also releasing our brand new 2022 Nebbiolo. So we'll have the opportunity to pop all four of these wines in your cellar. Alternatively, if you wanted to come to the cellar door here in the Hunter Valley and taste these wines with some food matching and have an enjoyable day out or weekend here in the Hunter Valley, we'd encourage you to do that, because hey, that's what it's all about. So here's to Sadler's Creek Single Suitcase Italian Series. Cheers.